Hello everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me and welcome to another episode of Let's Go to the Record Store. So this time we're going to be going to Academy Records in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan, which is located at 12 West 18th Street. And this is a really cool place. I've been going there for about 20 years. I really like it. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got CDs and vinyl. It's got cassettes, DVDs, Blu-rays. So just a lot of stuff. Pack some extra time because it will take some time, or you'll want to take the time to go through it all. And we're going to do this one a little different than we normally do. So this one is, today I'm going to be going to my office first, but at lunchtime is when we're going to go. And so you'll see things a little bit differently. And this is over in the area by the Fashion Institute of Technology, where they do these really great murals every year by the new class of students coming in. So you're going to see that. We'll then head downtown, as I mentioned, to the Chelsea neighborhood, but we're going to do it via a different mode of transportation. Usually we take the subway because we're going a lot further. Today, not so far, so we're going to take a taxi cab. And then we'll be over by the historic Limelight Club, or the original one, I should say. This was an old church that was converted into a nightclub back in the 80s, became very famous. Today, it's a bunch of different things, one of them being the historic Grimaldi's Pizza, which is some of the best in New York City. So if you're around this area, you can get a really great slice and some new music at the same time. So definitely head down to this area, check it out if you're in Manhattan. But for right now, join me as we head downtown and let's go to the record store. All right, so we're back. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I know I always enjoy going to the record store. So many great things there. Did get some loot that I want to go through with you. Not as much as I normally get. I usually come back with quite the amount of finds. This time it's a little smaller, but you know what? It's not always about the quantity. I always like to think it's more about the quality of what you find. And I got a couple really cool things here that I'd like to go through with you. So let me open this up. We're going to pull out, I did get one vinyl, so I'd like to show you that. Patti Smythe, I think is how she pronounces it. Some people I hear say Patti Smith, but I think it's Patti Smythe. Never Enough. First solo album. Of course, she was the lead singer from Scandal. So I knew her from that. I'd never seen this before, and it's not available to stream, and I can't buy it on CD. So a lot of you guys always ask, you know, do you buy vinyl? Yes, I do buy vinyl, and I buy vinyl when I can't get it on CD. And so since I can't get this one on there, I've picked it up, and I wasn't able to listen to it in advance, but I did stream one song off of Greatest Hits. I liked what I heard, so I went ahead and decided to pick it up. This was in the $5 bin, so very good deal, and it does come with the original sleeve, internal sleeve from it, so that's always a cool thing. But very much looking forward to checking that out. And again, since I can't stream it and I can't buy it on CD, this is the only way right now that I can get it. So that's, I've got multiple different formats of music, and it usually comes down to the only format that it's available on as to how I have it. All right, so I got one other thing, and ties in with my shirt here. ZZ Top 6-pack, and you guys might be thinking, well, gee, don't you already own all of the albums? And yes, I do. But if you don't know what this is here, back in 1987, before all of their albums were available on CD, they collected up the ones that were not yet on CD, which was their first 5 albums and El Loco, and put it together on this, a 3 CD set, calling it 6-pack. That's where you get the 6-pack from on it. And it was an early version of a box set at that time. But for this here, they decided to do something a little different, being so popular in the 80s from the album Eliminator and the 1985's Afterburner, those more electronic 80s sounding albums. They went back and took those first 5 albums and remixed them, doing brand new drums and putting effects on the guitars to bring them up, making it more current, more modern, sounding like Eliminator and Afterburner. And I'm not sure how people felt about this in the 80s when it came out. I know later on, because this was the only way the albums were available on CD all the way up, I think, until 2006, so about 20 years. And I know a lot of people really wanted those original 1970s albums to be reissued, and then eventually that happened. But I never picked this up at the time, and later on finding out what this is, I always wanted it, but it's been pretty hard to come by. And I have found a couple different versions, but they've always been pretty beat up and so forth, and I finally found a really good one. 3 CDs for $8.99, so a really good deal. Plus it's got different mix, than what the other ones are. So as I said, I do own all of the albums in a couple configurations, but this here being a different mix makes it totally worthwhile for me. Now, I grew up with Eliminator and Afterburner. Those were my first 2 albums from ZZ Top, so I love the 80s sound. So this here, putting this on and hearing those sort of versions of those early albums was really cool to me. I didn't think I would enjoy it. I thought it would kind of sound tinny or not really, good, or it just would sound out of place, but it actually works really well. And I have to say, so now when I'm in that 80s mood for ZZ Top, I'll be pulling this out. And of course, when I want the original 1970s sound, I have those albums too, and I can go back to that. So there you go. These are the 2 things that I got. Good for me, not as big of a haul as I normally get, but some great new listening for me to enjoy throughout this weekend and so forth. And certainly if you're around the Chelsea area in Manhattan, do check out Academy Records at 12 West 18th Street. Definitely worth going to. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a great day. Go out and do some CD shopping and have a great time. Bye-bye, everyone.